Okay, there's a series of sums to evaluate, A, B, C, and D. I'll do one at a time, all right? And the point to this that, certainly when you're doing things, you might get a pattern to it, but patterns can be quite deceptive. And what I'll do is do one at a time, and then we'll talk about the last one, which you might be easily taken by, all right? But let's go to the whiteboard. I'll write this thing down for you. And this is sum. This is letter A. And it's a sum. It says J starts at 0, and it goes off to 20. And then you get I, which is the square root of -1, to the minus J. Now you may want to rewrite this as J equals 0 to 20, 1 over I to the J. If that helps you, that's fine. I'm going to write it down for you. And what do you get? You get 1 over I to the 0 plus 1 over I to the first power plus 1 over I squared plus yada, 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 all the way up to 1 over I to the 20th power. Right, I'm going to say it's a sum. Again, it's geometric in form, but it looks strange. I'll write this over here. The first term is 1 over I to the 0. This is the only one I'm going to simplify. It's actually just 1. The next one's 1 over I. I'm not going to simplify the next one. You could say it's -1, but I'm going to write down 1 over I squared. Then 1 over I cubed plus yada, 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 all the way up to 1 over I to the 20th power. I'm going to multiply the top equation, not top, the equation by I. So you get I times S. That equals I plus 1 plus 1 over I. Again, I'm multiplying every term by I. 1 over I squared plus yada, 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 yada. And when you multiply the last term by I, you would get I to the 19th on bottom. All right? I'm going to look at these two over here, and, well, I got to subtract. I'm trying to get rid of terms, by the way. So I'm going to take I, S, minus S. And let's see what happens over there. And I'm taking this, subtracting that. That disappears. That disappears. That disappears. And by the way, this is 1 over I cubed. That disappears. Now, I hope you realize this disappears with this guy over here. Now, what are you left off with? Well, here you're left off with I. All the other terms disappear, though. These all disappear. I'm subtracting them. Now, what on top's left over? This guy's left over. And what's that going to be? Minus 1 over I to the 20th. I'm going to simplify that a little bit. And you know what? I just wrote down something that's not true. I got to correct that. I'll get my eraser out. And this is not I squared, it's just I. It's what I have circled over here. So let me point out what I mean by that. This is here, and this is here, and we're subtracting. So it's I minus 1 over I to the 20th. Well, I get I. That's not a big deal for me. And then over here I get minus 1 over, that's actually going to be I squared to the 10th power. So it's going to be I minus 1. I squared is -1, and -1 to the 10th power is just 1. So what do you get over here? I minus 1. All right, let's write this down now. I S minus S equals I minus 1. I'm going to factor an S out because that's what I want to get. And I get I minus 1 equals I minus 1. Well, I hope it's obvious that S equals 1, but let's write this down. I minus 1. Divide both sides by S's coefficient, which is I minus 1, and this gives me 1. What's the sum produce over here? Just the number 1. All right? Now, by the way, I'm going to say that after doing that, I probably should write down the formula for the geometric. All right, let me go through that with you. So if I have a geometric, and I'll write this over here, and I'm going to reuse this geometric over and over again. So I'm going to say, let's see, J equal 0 to some n power over here, and then I put some term over here. I'm going to say I'm going to say it's a, so a to the j. I'm generalizing it, and what do you get? You get a to the 0, which is 1. Then you get a, that's a to the first power. then you get a squared, then you get yada, 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 all up to a to the nth power. Well, I'm going to do the same thing, but I want to write a formula down now. And this is something you say, I remember. This is good for you. Multiply both sides by a. This is how your teachers derived it. We just did sort of something like that. Well, what do you do now? Let's see if I did that right. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to subtract again, and I'm going to say s minus as. And you're going to get 1. I do see that. This disappears. This disappears. Oh, boy, they all disappear. Even this guy disappears. You're left off with this over here. Let's keep moving. What do you get here? I'm going to factor an s out. And what do you get there? You get 1 minus a. And then you get 1 minus a, n plus 1. S will equal 1 minus a, n plus 1 over 1 minus a. All right? And that's a formula your teachers probably taught you when you took an algebra class or maybe a pre-calculus class. It's a geometric. All right? Let's go back to the other problem. And certainly I'm going to use a formula now. All right? So j equals 0. That's 20. And what do you get over here? You're going to get, let's put this down, I to the minus j. I want to write looks like this guy over here, by the way. So what do you mean? I want it to look like this guy over here. So let's write this over here. J equals 0 to 20. I'm going to write this as 1 over I to the j. All right? So let's write this down and see what we get. And we're going to use the formula now. So we're going to get 1 minus, we're going to get 1 minus, well, what's the a? It's 1 over I. Nothing wrong with doing this. What's that a again? 1 over I. That's a common ratio, by the way. What's the j over here? J is 20, so this would be 21. All right? So what am I going to do over here? I think what I would do is multiply both top and bottom by I to the, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to get these things that are not fractions. I'm going to write this as 1, let's see, minus I to the minus 21. All right? What do you get at the bottom? 1 minus I to the minus 1. That's a 1. Well, I'm still in the same conundrum, aren't I? Let's see if we can figure this thing out. So 1 minus, I'm going to write this as a power again. And, you know, maybe I should know what the negative exponents. I'm going to write this as 1 over I and 1 over I squared to the 20th power. And I'm really going back over here. So I'm going to cross this one out. Maybe that wasn't so productive. 1 minus 1 over I. What do you get here? Well, on top you get 1 minus 1 over I squared, I'm sorry, this is 10. I squared is minus 1 to the 10th power, which is going to be 1. What do you get over here? 1 minus 1 over I. What do you get? You still get 1. All right, thank you.